So that's the old heater matrix out. That's the old one on the right and the new one on the left. I guessed the right ones from mini spares because there is difference in this dimension here. Some oddball mark ones have I think it's a 5-inch spacing, whereas this is like a 4.5 inch. So what I'll do is I'll put some foam on the edges of this one so that it sits snugly in the heater and doesn't move, and that one can go in the bin. It's hard to see where it's been leaking from. Some signs of leaks possibly around here, and there's a few other places that don't look too clever. Down that side doesn't look too good. This corner here doesn't look particularly clever either. So yeah, prep this one and stick it in the heater and put it all back together. So that's the new heater matrix in the heater body. Gone overboard with the taping, the foam. It's waterproof foam, so it's not going to absorb water and cause rusting. I can't remember what the proper terminology for it is, but as snug as a bug in there. That's not moving about at all. So I'm just going to put this face plate or side plate back over onto the top, and then there's a face plate there to screw in, and all these screws here are just the ones that go around the side, and they're the front ones, just to hold it all back together. And then it'll be ready to go back in the car, but I won't be doing that until after I've got the ignition switch and the rewiring for the dim dip sorted. Sunday afternoon progress report. It's pissing down outside, and I've been watching a very boring Grand Prix from Spa. That's the interesting part. Heater is done. There it is, waiting to go back in. I've also finished my adaptation of, you can see that, another indicator switch, which is used for dipped and main beam. It's basically just interrupting the wiring that used to be under here. See, there's an empty space there where you can just see the two self tappers. That's where the old switch used to be. And then I've just connected it into the same wires, same bullet connectors as before, and it all works. I can't remember if I have a relay for the main beam or what. I know there's relays at the front for the spotlights, but I can't remember if one's for the main beam and one's for the relays, or the one's for the main beam and one's for the dipped, or it's both for the main beam. So I need to look into that. So the next job is to just put the heater back in. I've also replaced the ignition switch with a fresh one from Mini Spares. It's just the same as the old one. It's not marked Lucas this time though, so it might not be as good quality. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, time to reassemble. So heater in, connect all the pipes up, tidy up the footwells, and put the carpets back in, and then this seat that's missing from here can go back in as well. That's the heater back in, all connected up, all the hoses connected and tested as far as it runs. I need to put some water in the system next and see if it leaks before I put the ears back on. These are the ears here. You can just about see them on the floor on the black carpet. And then put the seats back in with those 4 bolts. And then a little bit of tidying up and we're done. Well, that's it for today. Seats back in, as you can see behind me. I haven't put the ears back on the heater yet. I've left a bit of blue paper there just to catch any drips if there's any. I've topped up with the water and turned it over a few times, but the water level hasn't changed. I think I'll probably have to get it up to temperature, which I can't really do in here as it is at the moment. We'll have to swap the cars about before I do that. Tomorrow I'll probably look at doing fresh discs on the front. Next weekend, or next Sunday, week today, is Bonus Revival, so I want to make sure I've got some good brakes for going up there, because it's a nice cross-country trip and I can press on, seeing I'm not in convoy with anybody else. So that's it for today. Little bit of tidying up and then gone in for something to drink. While I was editing this video, it occurred to me that I'd never actually demonstrated how the dim dip system worked. So I came back up to the unit tonight. Now this is December, and the rest of the footage you've seen was filmed in September before the Bowness event. So and it's still untested, so never mind. But anyway, here's how it works. Okay, so your side lights come on as per normal. You see that? You can't really see the illumination outside on that other car. Then once down for dipped, no change outside until you move this lever down, and you can see how the lights are shining there. And then when you want to go on main beam, you just flick the lever up, and there is a relay because I heard it click. Lights come on. Light on the end of the stick is blue because I used the blue LED, and you can see that the normal high beam light comes on, so I should get them both in shot there. There you go. There we go, all three in one shot. Now the only issues I had, if it'll focus, is focus, you bastard. The only issue I had was with this changing the bulb in here to a blue LED type. Cap comes off easy enough, just unscrews, and then the bulb inside should unscrew, and it's just basically held into like a copper spring that's on the end of this shaft. But it wouldn't unscrew because, as it turned out, the thread inside the copper winding was damaged. So I had to totally destroy the bulb to get it out. Then take this black plastic cap off the stock just by, I think I just pulled it off that way, and it brought the spring with it all in one. And then I had to drill out the remains of the bulb that was inside the spring, and then run a tap down it to clean it up. And that's how we did it. And then the brand new LED bulb just screwed in without any hassle. I did check on the opposite side, which is the indicator side, that the bulb went in and out fine, and it was no problem at all. So it was purely just a problem with this, or the quality of this indicator switch. And as per usual with me, that was a mini spares part, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, I had to destroy the bulb to get it out, which would have meant if your bulb went in normal use, the indicator bulb, you'd have to destroy it. The other alterations I did in here, there's a separate section. Normally it sits on the top. I think it's for the horn where it presses onto the column or whatever on a normal Mark 1. Well, I took all that lot off, and I think I made some I took some springs off in here as well that make it spring back, so these little arms don't do anything anymore. They're just sitting there floating about, and they don't make this flick back. It just works as I wanted it. The good point was, of course, that this, even though this is a green top, the blue bulb makes it shine blue, so it's absolutely perfect. So that's how it works.